What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Many of you know that Tasha K has recently publicly called out Joe Budden, and that has a lot to do with the fact that she recorded an interview with Joe Budden, but he did not release the footage. And she went to Adam 22 and recorded the podcast in Adam 22, released it. So Tasha K went on a tirade as she usually does. I won't even play her part of the clip because she's just going crazy. Completely self-aware, not accountable for, anything that she does. Typical Tasha K stuff. We all know that it's true. This is what Tasha does. And of course, she's saying that, he's a weak black man. He's crazy. He's soft. I mean, again, Tasha K's hatred for black men is always evident. Okay? And so, she felt like, he wasn't working with black media and all of this. But DJ Academics, who has reacted to what Tasha K was saying, he's going to bring out some excellent points as to why Joe Budden didn't post her podcast. I'm going to play this clip here and I'm going to come back.
Everything that you're mad at Joe for, you didn't afford to other people. You slandered people's names. You've made up your mind with one-sided conversations. You've gone with people who are more sympathetic to you. And you can get mad at Joe as all you want, but let's be honest about the reality of this industry as well. You or even I, if we are on the totem pole of who people care about in the grand scheme of things, if I told a flat out lie about Drake, by the way, this is my big problem with her, because she's acting like this is her first rodeo. You think when I go as SZA, I don't know there ain't no TD interviews coming? You don't think that? I know that? There ain't no TD interviews coming. There ain't no, I ain't gonna have no information coming from that camp. They're not with me. I can't be mad about it. It is what it is. QC, not really as much. They kind of compartmentalize. But anytime it comes with the territory. Here's why I say that. When you made up those lies, and I'm going to call them lies, even though I haven't, to be fair, I haven't seen the full court documents, right? But nothing ever came out to say they weren't lies, right? When you repeated those lies about Cardi B, you do realize that Cardi B is probably going to use her leverage to make sure people don't Nicki tried to do it to me. I'm not mad at it. There's people who won't because of Nicki. It is what it is. I'm going to still do me. My motto. Sometimes it's better to talk about you than talk to you. I don't give a who want to give me an interview. I'm straight. You're getting emotional, but again, it's part of the game. Cardi B, who probably is closer friends to Joe, which is important to know, closer friends to Joe. He knows her character way more than yours. Also, in the grand scheme of the totem pole, Cardi B's is a little more important than you. Now, I'm not saying he probably said he's not going to air your interview because he wants a chance to get an interview with Cardi. But also, if he got to piss off one of y'all, he probably don't want to piss off Cardi. I'm not going to say that's the reason. But I'm just trying to tell you that you're in the media and you've been here for a while and you're acting like this is new. People make these decisions all the time. Where I disagree with you is that you believe that because I hate when people invoke skin color and tribalism when they're trying to get their way. I'm sorry to tell you, I don't give a we share skin color, nationality, ethnicity, race, or creed. If there's a white dude I know forever, and that's my guy, and he's white, and he tell me something, and then your black ass tell me something else, I'm rocking with who I know. I'm sorry to tell you. It ain't about race. It ain't about color lines. And reducing it to that, or reducing it down to BBLs and not BBLs, you think Joe's making his mind up for BBLs? And I don't need to really defend Joe, but come on now. It's a convenient reason to not accept the reality. The reason why he probably didn't put that interview out, just to be honest with you, you've spent a lot of time in the industry tearing people down rather than building relationships. Cardi B has built relationships. She's built one with Joe. You can't knock, or you can't get mad when other people, have a little bit more pull than you can. This is why I'm in independent media, you're in independent media. You're always going to get counted out. And also, you have to understand that you're not going to have these little privileges. So you throwing a temper tantrum, I get it. But it seemed like you didn't know Joe at all either. You just thought he would be fair. So you think he's going to go against his friend. Especially if his friend is hitting him up. Keep in mind what Cardi B hit up Joe and said was that these things that this woman said was deeply hurtful to me. It deeply bothered me. It put me in depression. It made me want to do things that wouldn't be good. If you believe that she did those things and you even care about me, why would you platform her? Especially if that's the biggest reason people want to. And that's the thing that Tasha K doesn't realize. I know in your world, you must think you're the shit. But if I'm going to watch a Tasha K interview, I want to hear you talk about Cardi B. That's it. Great, you can tell me why you come up, but I want to hear you talk about Cardi B. So I could imagine Joe getting contacted about Cardi and said, damn, are we beefing or something like that? You're going to platform the woman who has done certain things to me and said certain things about my child, and I've spent millions of dollars like really defend myself because people used to believe that I had STDs and blah, 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 and I did this and I did that. I could imagine Joe saying, you know what? Shit, no. If you can't imagine him doing that. Now, granted, I'll agree with you on this part. This is the only part I'll agree with you. He should have thought about that before he interviewed you.
Now, again, Academics is a very intelligent young man, for sure. He said something very pertinent toward the end of that. Firstly, he talks about that Tasha K spends too much time on race and creed and stuff like that, instead of basing relationships on value. So what Academics says, listen, it's not about race, culture, or anything. It's about, if that's my guy, that's my guy, which is very important, right? All my friends in the industry happen to be black, but I can get what he's saying. Secondarily, Tasha K spends too much time tearing people down in the industry and not building relationships with people. He makes another appropriate point. If Joe Budden has a relationship with Cardi B, he may or may never get a Cardi B interview. But for the fact that Cardi B may have an opportunity and she knows Joe Budden, she has some sort of relationship with Joe Budden, he's not willing to lose that relationship based on the fact that he knows Tasha K. Tasha K is not anything on the same level as Cardi B. And what Tasha K did was produce false information about Cardi B that hurt her, all right? It was damaging to her. She has a lawsuit against her. So what do you do when you have people in the business you don't like? You keep people away from them. Like, it's what happens. Happens on YouTube. I don't like a guy, okay? And you go and work with this guy. I'm not dealing with you anymore, period. And I'm going to come after you. That's how it works. It's how it's always worked. So, like, even when, like I said, when Kevin was alive, when I was in the manosphere, whoever else, if you come against Kevin Samuels, and even the people that Kevin don't like now, in his death, I don't work with them. Because if you don't like Kevin Samuels, period, I'm not working with you. That's for the most part. Now, if you had strong criticisms of him, but now if you're one of those people going after him, you're calling him this name, you're calling him, no, can't do it, right? Out of respect. Thirdly, he makes a great point about the fact that who wants to hear what Tasha K has to say outside of her talking about Cardi B? There is nothing about Tasha K, who pretty much is a person that goes around starting trouble. She doesn't really have any value. In so many words, she might be the one doing interviews, but her life is not that interesting, okay? She's a loudmouth, she's funny, but her life is not that interesting. There's nothing about her life that somebody should care about, okay? Nobody cares about her that much. That's just the truth. Nothing about her life should somebody take seriously, and they don't. So Outside of her talking about Cardi B, nobody wants to watch what you have to say. If she's not talking about Cardi B, who cares? I'll tell you who cares. Nobody. Nobody cares. That's just the truth. And so, again, she needs to be more accountable. Kind of like, what is she talking about? Again, this is something that happens a lot. Tasha K has no self-awareness. She thinks she's better than what she actually is. You're talking about you're going to all these venues, you're turning down interviews. You're not going to Drink Champs. You're not going to the Breakfast Club. You're not going to any of these places. You're going to, dusty spots. All right, that's what you're doing. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Nobody knows, because you're not making any sense. That's why. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.